Hello, I'm Ted Westervelt from the Library of Congress, and I'm here to talk about the Library of Congress's recommended format specifications. The library has a mission, a very broad mission, which fundamentally means building a collection of content that is vast in scope, but is also vast in time. The point of this is not to create the collection that you and I can use today or tomorrow, but that our children, grandchildren, and generations down the line will be able to use. I.e., we want this collection, but it has to be something that will last. So how do we do that? We need to be able to identify preservable content if we expect it to last. Traditionally, we've used the Copyright Office's Best Edition statement. It's worked very well for us. In its most simple form, it says a hardback is going to last longer than a paperback. Pretty straightforward. It's helped us build a collection where we are not constantly worrying that the content we have is going to disappear tomorrow. Now, the problem with the Best Edition statement is it has two drawbacks. One is that it is not kept up with the technology we use to create our analog content. The biggest one, however, is it barely touches upon digital at all. It provides almost no support in identifying digital content which is more likely to be preserved. We've got to have something which is current and comprehensive, because as we all know, at least as much of the content being created today is digital as it is analog. And this is why we developed the recommended format specifications. Best Edition statement won't work for us at this time. This will. It's a set of hierarchies of physical and technical characteristics. It applies to both analog and digital, and it seeks to maximize the chances of survival and continued accessibility of creative content well into the future. Now, happily, we do have a lot of work we could build upon. We have documents like the Best Edition statement, which may be out of date, but does provide some good basis. We have the Sustainability Digital Format Guidelines developed within OSI, which is exceptionally useful. And we even have our collections policy statements. Beyond that, we have a talented staff covering all these different areas of knowledge, from technical expertise to understanding about access needs and what the marketplace is like. This couldn't be a sort of ivory tower project. It had to be something that was practical. We identified these 6 basic categories of creative content as the stuff out there that we would want to be adding to the library's collection as the basic starting point. Underneath each of these, we create the hierarchies down. And they work basically like this. You break the large groups into subgroups. So under still images, it's photographs, digital. And within that are the attributes which actually affect how we preserve things, like file formats. And then it gives you the options for that. What are the file formats? So under formats for digital photographs, we have TIFF, JPEG 2000. Each of these sets of attributes and options have 2 sort of groupings, preferred and acceptable. It's very easy to get caught up in trying to put things in order. The most important thing is the preferred ones will actually encourage preservation. The acceptable ones won't hinder it. Okay. So we have this now. Before I tell you what we're going to do with it, it does not replace the Copyright Best Edition statement. It complements it. It does not mean we will not go off book. We always go off book in some cases. But we have to understand that the costs of going off book. And moreover, it doesn't solve digital preservation. I wish that this 17-page document solved digital preservation. It does not. And there's no way we can pretend. The goal here is to set parameters. If most of our content is within this sort of fence, is that it will hopefully make digital preservation just that bit easier. Internally, we will use this as much as possible right now in our acquisitions. For things that we don't have the infrastructure, where we haven't answered all those questions, at least we want this to be brought to the attention of our acquisition sources. They need to know that we will be using this when we do begin acquiring that digital content, which will be very soon. And we want to start conversations with them about that. Because as much as anything, we hope this will be useful externally as well. The point of this is not just for our own need, but preservation and long-term access is something that everyone in the creative process, from the creators to the vendors, the archiving services, they care about. We've done all this work, we put a lot of effort into it. We want you to have it, and we want you to use it. And we want your thoughts back on it. This is an ongoing project. What we have now is this year's. We are going to review and revise this for next year. And just honestly, from the past day and a half, there are all sorts of things I'm thinking, oh, we really need to think about that. And this is just, from my perspective, just hearing a few things. I know in this room there are people that could really help sharpen this up. for our benefit, but for your benefit as well. So as much input as possible is greatly appreciated, because this is our common need, to encourage the creation, distribution, acquisition of content that will endure and remain accessible. This is what we all want, it's what we all need. An entire list of emails, we've got this up on our website. My email's there at the top. Just come and collar me if you have any questions or any interest in this. I think you can easily find this through digitalpreservation.gov as well. Please take a look and let me know what you think, because I think this is something we can all benefit from. Thank you very much.